Well, I couldn't be any more excited about who's joining us here today. She's one of the most popular and prominent voices on discussions related to sports and pop culture. And of course, when you're not listening to my podcast, you're probably listening to hers, appropriately titled The Nia Polanco Show. Nia, it is great to have you on the podcast.
Well, thank you for having me on, Kevin. You know, it's a nice change of pace to be in the guest seat instead of the host seat.
Yeah, a little change of role. But now, look, you've been at it for, what is it, a little over a year now, hosting your show, am I right?
Yeah, it's been about 15 months now. We debuted last spring.
Okay, so you're a savvy old veteran now. And I know in these 15 months, you've managed to cross paths with just about every big name in sports and entertainment. But there's one athlete in particular, Nia, I have to ask you about. You were there on draft night. You watched him get chosen by the 49ers with their top pick. I think you know where I'm going here.
Yeah, I think I've had more people ask me about him than maybe any of my other guests, which really surprised me initially. It was a great interview, and he was way more candid than I expected he would be. But I think I might have underestimated how culturally relevant he already is.
Exactly. And, that makes two of us. And it wasn't really until the past few weeks that I really started to realize just how much of an impact he's having, obviously on the field, but also off of it. So Nia, let's focus on that off-the-field part for a moment. Because from what I hear, he's got a terrific support system that deserves some of the praise. Am I right?
I think it's fair to give some credit to his inner circle. He brought his agent, Jordan Wright, with him on the show, and you can tell that she's providing some great guidance on how to handle himself. Not saying he wouldn't have figured it out on his own, but he's got his team in place, and that's very important for a young athlete.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no question. And honestly, it's refreshing to see, so kudos to him. All right, so let's talk about your podcast. And it's funny, I was listening to, I think it was your most recent episode.